Battle of the Legends is what they called this, Luke Thomas. These men have been in a veritable who's who as far as MMA goes. Inside the cage with the likes of Andrei Arlovsky, Dan Severn, Fedor Emelianenko, Mark Coleman, Alistair Overeem, Gegard Mousasi, Don Fry. The list goes on and on.
You name it, they've been there.
These two have done it all.
Now, we should know that their weight was not 265 each. Goodridge came at the lightest he's been in a while, 225. Rizzo, I think, was around 245. So Rizzo, the bigger man here, a little bit softer on the middle, although Rizzo has kind of always been that way. Oh, my God, Pedro Rizzo known as having brutal leg kicks. Now, Gary Goodridge told me yesterday that he thinks Pedro wants to take him to the ground. It looks to be that Gary might be right.
Very prophetic, Luke Thomas.
He's got a guillotine here, but it's really hard to finish one from half guard.
Especially this early in the fight, I imagine, with both fighters having all their energy.
True, but that works both ways, because if Goodridge is full of strength, then he can apply the maximum amount here. But I wouldn't really waste my time in half guard like this, particularly against a veteran like Rizzo, unless you really feel like you got it locked up, because Rizzo can just wait it out. And he looks to be doing that. You can see his ear is already poking through. He's going to push down on the elbow and slide his head out.
Goodridge coming off some losses. His last two fights against Mousasi and Overeem. So he's no stranger to competition in this stage in his career.
And he's reapplying the choke here. It should be noted about Gary Goodridge. I talked to him about his losses. They can't be denied. He is coming off several. And there are some calls for his retirement. I asked him about that. He says that those are fair, that he knows he's in the twilight of his career. He knows he only has just a handful of fights left. In fact, he said, this may be my last fight, and I want to go out the way I want, the right way, by winning. He's looking for that win, that elusive win that hasn't really been there for him. But he said that was a function of his conditioning. So 225, he is lighter. He's got a new guy working on strength and conditioning. We'll see what happens here.
We've seen that with so many fighters, Luke, and it's sad, but at the same time, it's admirable. They want to fight. It's what they know, and you have to at least respect him for wanting to continue despite the setbacks that he's had.
I think that's right, and that's important why we have checks in place, why we have athletic commissions approving fights.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that the safety of the fighters comes first, even when there are, listen, maybe that situation doesn't apply here, but we always want to make sure that the best medical decision is made for these fighters, even if it's not the one they make for themselves. I'm really surprised he's hanging on this guillotine.
It's out now.
Now what's he going to do?
Rizzo pops his head out.
Gary Goodridge is not known as having a dynamic guard. He never has. He's always been known as a big power puncher.
He's going to want to get this fight back on his feet as soon as possible. Of course, The Rock is a four-time Muay Thai champion as well. Goodridge just trying to control the head of Rizzo on top of him. Defend himself against that ground and pound.
And you see Rizzo working for the pass. You see him blocking with his left hand, stepping over, trying to drive that knee through.
Might be looking to try to pin that arm too, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. Referee Mario Yamasaki intently watching, see if there's any moment for justified for a stand-up.
How's he going to get that leg out, Luke? Goodridge is a big, strong guy.
Yeah, he is. Well, doing this will make him open it. You see Goodridge just covering up.
Now, will this be cause to stop the fight here?
Yeah, this is getting ugly. Goodridge not offering anything. Now, Goodridge is going to claim that he's okay, but you can't sit there and take shots like that.
Right.
It's just not, you look bad.
You just have to show some manner of defense.
That's right. Covering
up,
up,
keep the fight going.
Covering up is important, but it's not enough.
There you go. He slipped his leg out.
Right. So what you want to do is Rizzo's going to use his right knee and thigh. You see him leaning that hip down? That's going to block the hips of Goodridge while he leans on him. And from here...
What about a crucifix?
I don't know that Pedro's grappling game in MMA is that sophisticated. What I think you might more likely see is something like this, or you may even see a choke.
Goodridge just has to show something here. He can't just continue to take punches in the face from side mount. Got control of one leg again of Rizzo here.
It looked like he was going from a head and arm triangle, but the head and arm triangle is hard to do if you're on the opposite side. You need to, if you're trying to head and arm triangle the left side, you can't be on the right. You have to jump all the way over.
You mentioned Yamasaki now, looking intently on.
Chad, I don't mean to be disparaging. I don't think Gary Goodridge has done a single punch in this fight.
No. Goodridge needs to show something here. He seems to be defending himself. Those elbows, though, can do some vicious damage.
Pedro Rizzo just is absolutely dominating. Mario Yamasaki's got to take this into account.
The impact now, you can hear it. Cage side. Able to now get some sort of control over those hands of Pedro Rizzo. Caught a break there with Rizzo's. End of the round, saved by the bell. I feel that could have been stopped at some point.
I wasn't sure that wasn't the fight.
I guess saved by the bell. It could have gone either way. We've seen stranger things happen.
I don't know. I'm not really.
Here you go.
It's hard to watch a fighter not provide any offense for a full 5 minutes.
Be interesting to see how long they're willing to let this go this next round, Luke. Goodridge doesn't provide some sort of offense, any kind of offense. You might be looking at a position here where you've got to protect the guy in the twilight of his career also. Rizzo dominating that first round. Takedown, total control, multiple blows.
Listen, there is something to be said for what we call hand punching in MMA. When a guy's covering up and another guy on top of him is punching and he's only hitting his hands. Okay, fair enough. If he's just hitting his hands, he's not actually hitting his face, maybe that's no big deal. But I don't think Goodridge threw a single punch the entire round.
Have to see how this goes here.
Let's see if Rizzo throws another one of those devastating leg kicks.
Goodridge has got to work his stand-up here. That's where he has the best opportunity. And again, we're not seeing...
Oh, that is what I was talking about.
That was the thud.
That
was
one
the thud you were mentioning.
Stung.
So with that shin bone...
When you shake the canvas, yeah, you hit him hard. All right, first shot by Goodridge here.
And you got to assume, Luke, that Rizzo wants to get this back on the ground and continue that onslaught from the first round.
I would stay standing. Yikes. Rizzo is still I don't mean just in this fight, but I mean in the career. He's still fresh in his career relative to Gary Goodridge.
Working the body now the head.
Goodridge just covering up constantly. He's going to get dropped here. Well, maybe not.
Very good, pushing off Rizzo from the double leg.
Again, you don't want to count out Gary Goodridge before, the fat lady sings, so to speak. I'm glad in this round he's showing us a lot
nice
more.
Head kick. Ate a jab there from Rizzo. Luke, forgive me for the lack of a technical term, but Goodridge does look wobbly.
Yeah, he could. What's the medical diagnosis? If you're rattled, your equilibrium is off. That's the way you're going to look.
That's exactly how it looks, and you have to assume by taking these big shots to the head, his equilibrium is not in a good state.
Listen, there are moments in this fight where they're brief, but Goodridge is standing there absorbing shots like a heavy bag.
It's happened on the ground and standing up right there. You saw that.
Yeah, that also may be because the canvas is slick. I'm not entirely certain which one that was. Oh, God.
That sounds painful. I don't know if that's coming through the television, but...
See, and contrasted with that last one, the first one was
great
way
example.
Harder.
Great example. He's landed about 3 or 4 of those at this point, Rizzo has. Goodridge firing back with his own leg kicks.
Again, neither feels particularly great, but one is way worse than the other. Nice jab.
Jab right to the face.
And Goodridge can't take out your mouthpiece. You're not allowed to take out your own mouthpiece. You have to have that in by law. Oh, my God. Pedro Rizzo's leg kicks are violent. You got poked in the eye? It appears he got poked in the eye. These fingerless gloves, this is a common problem.
Looked like he was pointing at his nose there for a second. I mean, that might have had something to do with why he was trying to take his mouthpiece out. Well, he is blinking. Might have been a veteran-savvy move, trying to buy himself some time, Luke. Checking that kick finally. Rizzo's going to be able to just tee off here eventually.
Nice combination, right straight to the body, left hook to the chin.
There it is.
Nicely done by Pedro "The Rock" Rizzo. He went for it again, but this time Goodridge saw it coming.
Can't deny the fight in George Goodridge.
Gary.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
Those leg kicks. It's Talk about trying to throw punches off your leg after you've been suffering those.
Oh, it's just impossible.
It has to be just...
You're not just damaging the muscle or even the bone, you're also you're doing nerve damage. There's a sciatic nerve that runs along the side of your thigh like that.
Look at that.
Jesus, I mean, that is just hard to watch. He is getting broken.
Now just teeing off.
And Pedro Rizzo is known in MMA for having leg kicks. He's not just throwing leg kicks as part of his repertoire. He's known as having some of the best in the game.
Gary Goodridge now favoring that leg, it looks like.
Gary Goodridge's back is against the fence, and he's just sort of parrying jabs. I mean, he kicked a little bit there.
Is Rizzo doing enough to finish him here, Luke? It appears the fight, it should be his.
Well, he's clearly winning. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, maybe there's a case where he should be going a little bit more aggressive. I certainly see your point there.
I mean, with the limited amount of offense that we've seen from Goodridge, it seems to me.
Goodridge is hard to knock out. There might be a case for referee intervention, though. But, you know, listen, if you're throwing a punch back like that, oh, my God, how does Gary Goodridge stand?
Something that you just have to have happen to you, I guess, for people to truly understand how painful it can be.
A reporter tried taking one from Forrest Griffin. One, and not even a full one, just a half one. And this happened in Las Vegas. There's video of this on YouTube. You can look it up. He took a half one from Forrest Griffin, and it broke his femur.
Junior Seau tried to take one from Forrest Griffin as well. And that's a professional athlete, multiple-time Pro Bowler. Said it was tremendously painful.
Again, another round, 10-9, all Pedro Rizzo.
Goodridge limping, by the way, Luke. Favoring that leg now on his way back to his corner.
Let's take a look at that replay. Nice high kick, blocked.
Nice kick.
Didn't set it up, though. Jab, cross. That's it. They're calling the fight. Goodridge can't continue.
I think it's a good call.
I think it's the right choice.
The winner, fighting out of the red corner, Pedro Rizzo by a TKO.
The game plan. I talked to Gary Goodridge yesterday. He thought you were going to take him down. Sure enough, in the first you did. Was the plan to take him down early and then stay with him later, or was that just something that happened on the fly?
No, I really want to stand up with him, but I saw the opportunity to take him down. That's why I took him down. He caught me with a good guillotine choke, but I was defending. I was calm down over there. But I didn't want to take him down. I would try to stand with him. But I kicked and he fell. So then I keep going, taking him to the ground. So that's why I took him down. But the fight plan was stand him up and try to knock him out.
Well, you're a legend in the sport, a great win. Thank you for competing in Washington, D.C. It's an honor to be here to watch you compete. Pedro, The Rock Rizzo, ladies and gentlemen.